Hey everybody, it's Hussein Cavani, your favorite broker. We have a change of scene. We are sitting outside, finally. And we are sitting outside in the new Seaton community. So we're at Taunton Road and White's. It's a brand new community. It's probably been started around 3 years ago or so. A lot of buildings still left to do, a lot of more homes to be sold, and they're going to start developing on the north side. But this is not what this video is about. So just kind of set the area of where we're at. But what I really want to get into is that we received this question from Tom. And Tom has been asked to move out of his rental basement apartment, him and his family, because the owner has sold the property. The owner has just told him he's got to move out and to give him 3 months to move out. That's been basically it. So Tom right now is scrambling around to try to find a place to go. And if you guys are aware of what's going on here right now, we're June 2021, and the rental market is, I would say, as crazy as the buying market. We are experiencing multiple offers on lease. We just had a townhouse to lease in Pickering. We listed it for $2,700. We had 20-something applications come through for it, all pretty good applications. Leased it out for $3,000. I've seen some, even rent out for more than that. So it's a really crazy time to be in this type of situation. But getting back to the question and the situation in particular, what's happened is that this landlord owned the property, didn't actually, in my opinion, take the correct steps. Now, before I get into my opinion and expressing what I think you should do or can do, or my opinion in general about this whole thing, remember, this is not legal advice, and you got to talk to a lawyer, you got to talk to a paralegal, you got to talk to somebody else, okay? So this is not legal advice, and this is definitely not definitive steps of what you can do next. It's just my thoughts of what can happen over here. That disclaimer being said, really the problem started with this landlord. He never actually gave the tenant formal notice of basically saying that the house has been sold. If you are a renter in a house, your landlord cannot tell you that you have to move out because they're selling the property. It's just not allowed, okay? Even if you are on a month-to-month, so you signed a 1-year lease and now you reverted to just being on month-to-month, they still cannot ask you to leave just for the purpose that they want to sell the property. What needs to happen is that they have to move forward, sell the property. The important step is next beyond that. So it depends on what's going to happen and who's going to actually own the property and what they're going to do with the property. In this situation, it sounds like to me that the new owner is going to be occupying the property. What should have happened after the sale had happened is that the previous owner of the property, the original landlord for this tenant, they should have given this tenant something called an N12 form by the Landlord Tenant Board. And basically what that means is that, hey, the house has been sold and the new buyer is actually going to be occupying the entire property for their own personal use, okay? So it's not like they can kick you out and then they can rent out the property again. They got to give you that notice, and they got to give you a 60-day notice. On top of that 60-day notice, they actually have to pay you 1 month rent compensation for you to be able to move out. So they got to give you that an extra month compensation for you to move out. What I understand from this situation is that the landlord, the original landlord, has basically just said, okay, well, when you're going to move out on this date, no formal documentation. And now what's happened is the new owner has actually taken possession of this property, is on the upstairs floor doing renovations, planning on moving in. This is, in my opinion, a very sticky situation. Now what it looks like to me is that this landlord or the new owner has moved into the property. They have technically assumed the tenant because the tenant is staying there. There's no formal documentation that I believe can be backed up that they actually have to move out. So now if this landlord actually wants this person to leave now, they got to actually give them an N12 and that 60 days notice for this person to actually move out. And they have to actually swear that they're going to be having a personal or like an immediate family member occupy that space of the basement as well. So it's a very sticky situation. If I was a tenant in this situation, and I know the market's really hard for tenants right now, I would basically rely on Landlord Tenant Board rules and regulations, and I would basically tell them, like, I got nowhere to go. There's no formal notice. You got to give me formal notice of what you want to do. And at least that way you buy yourself a little bit of time, I think. And the other thing also is that you kind of protect yourself a little bit. So if they give you that N12, you end up moving out, but you see that place maybe renovated again, and they put it back up for lease, they're not allowed to do that. So at least for 1 year, they got to keep it the way that it is. So if you see it come back up for lease, you can actually file a complaint against that as well. In this particular situation where, this person was renting a basement apartment, the original owner has sold, the new owner has already taken possession, in my opinion, is assumed the tenants at this point right now. So that new owner has to go through an entire process to actually have this tenant leave. If you guys have any questions like this, I don't mind giving you my opinion. Again, this is my opinion and my understanding of how things work. You got to talk to a paralegal. There's a bunch of paralegals out there that will give you a free, 15, 20-minute consultation. If you guys need to get a hold of somebody, I know somebody I can, give you a contact information for. You can look up a lot of this information on Landlord Tenant Board's websites. The forums are super easy to understand as well. But if you guys have any questions, you want me to point you in the right way, feel free to contact me. Leave me a comment on this video. What do you guys think? Have you guys been in a situation with the landlord where they have just basically told you got to move out? How have you guys have handled it? Very tricky situation. But if you guys got questions, reach out to me, let me know. Please share, like, leave me your comments. Until next time, guys, remember one thing. Get Cabani, get sold.
Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold. Sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, sold.